Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we're going to be going on an adventure back to a couple planets we've already visited because I got listener suggestions for them. Now, I will say when I originally got these suggestions, I couldn't remember for sure if I had actually done a story about these planets because I've done so many stories now that I forget things like that. But in both cases, it turns out I already had. Let's check out the first one.
Hi, my name is Charleigh from Bracebridge, Ontario, and I would like to request a story about a planet that has a bunch of candy on it. And I love your story times.
Thank you, Charlie. Charlie, you left this one a couple months ago. I've been meaning to make it for quite a while, and I'm just finally getting to it now. Now let's check out our second suggestion for this episode.
Hi, Martin. I'm McKenna McCarthy, and I'm from Alaska, and I want an ice cream planet where it's a planet that's super cold and is made of ice cream. And did you know a fun fact that in Alaska, people eat more ice cream than anywhere else? Thank you. I love your podcast. Bye.
Well, thank you for that. That is a fun fact. Again, I've done an ice cream planet, but I thought we could do a little throwback episode today. Perhaps we can take our friend Pip from the summer camp planet on a few adventures to planets we've been to already. If you want to hear the originals, just search Dad's Bedtime Stories Candy Planet or Dad's Bedtime Stories Ice Cream Planet. I'm sure it'll pop up. That's how I found them. And if you're interested in hearing what I sounded like when I did stories back in the day, the Candy Planet is the place for you. It is a very early story, I think in the first month that I was doing this, ever. And for some reason, I'm pretty sure I talk completely differently. So listen to that. Let me know what you think. Do I talk differently? I also have a few big shout-outs to give. Thank you to Maria Lopez for being one of my newest Patreon sponsors. Thank you to Rosie and her father Grant for sponsoring me on Patreon as well. And thank you to Jennifer C., also for sponsoring me on Patreon. Those sponsorships go a really long way, and if everyone who was listening did even just $1 a month, it would completely fund the podcast. But I'll keep doing it either way because I like it. Now, it's time to close your eyes, get as comfy as you can in that bed, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Imagine yourself waking up in the summer camp planet. You look around and see that you're sleeping in a shelter that you and Pip made the day before. Good morning, Pip, you say. Good morning, Pip responds. Well, you want to head to a different summer camp? You ask. This is fun and all, but I don't know, I could go for an actual bed. I could too, Pip says. I could also go for something tasty. Maybe we can find some sort of ice cream camp or something like that, Pip suggests. Oh, that's funny. I once went to an ice cream planet, you respond. What do you mean an ice cream planet? Pip asks. Well, I mean, a planet full of ice cream. It had mountains of ice cream of all different flavors. It was tasty and a great place to snowboard. There's no way there's a planet full of ice cream, Pip says. Yeah, there is a planet full of ice cream, you respond. I've been to it. And why is it so hard to believe? In an infinite universe, there have to be infinite planets and infinite possibilities. One of those possibilities, it turns out, is a planet full of ice cream. There's no way that exists. What, I'm supposed to believe that there's like a planet for everything out there? Like a candy planet or something like that too? Pip says. Yeah, you should absolutely believe that there is a candy planet. You respond. No, there isn't. Yes, there is, and I can prove it. Just a second. You quickly tap on your watch. Spaceship, you say. Any way you could take me and my friend Pip to see a couple planets we've been to before? That is an excellent idea. Yes, that would be fully possible. However, I will need to contact Pip's mother as well as the camp. I will get on that now. Talk soon, Spaceship says. What? What was that you were talking to? Pip asks. Oh, that's just my spaceship, you respond. He's the one who was able to bring me here to the summer camp planet. How did you get here anyways? You ask Pip. And where are you from? I'm from Alaska, Pip answers. And I got here because, well, my dad's part of some sort of secret government program about space travel and stuff like that. I don't know all the details, but we do get to travel around a bit. He's certainly never taken me to anything like a candy planet or an ice cream planet, though. Speaking of which, you want to know a fun fact about Alaska? Despite its cold climate, Alaskans have some of the highest per capita rates of ice cream consumption in the United States. Honestly, if my dad knew there was an ice cream planet, I can't imagine he wouldn't have explored it. Your watch then begins to vibrate. You lift it up, press the button on it, and Spaceship's voice appears again. Good news. I have called Pip's mother, and she has agreed to allow Pip to accompany us. I have also contacted the people at the summer camp planet. They are expecting me to pick you up momentarily, Spaceship says. And with that, you hear a strange sort of rumbling noise. You and Pip quickly pack up your things and exit your little survival hut. Spaceship appears above you and slowly lowers itself down into a clearing near the campsite. Goodbye, your camp counselor says, waving. The back hatch to the ship opens up, and you and Pip climb aboard while waving back to your camp counselor. The back hatch closes, and the ship begins to take off into the air. Where will we be traveling? Spaceship asks. Well, first stop, the ice cream planet, you say. Excellent choice. I have been to the ice cream planet before. As such, I will use my quantum jump drive to get us there instantly. As the ship continues to lift up through the atmosphere, Pip has a look around. Wow, this place is amazing. You have your own living room, your own kitchen, your own library and toy area. Where do these rooms go? Pip asks. You notice for the first time that instead of having one door to a single bedroom on that wall of the ship, there's now two doors to two different bedrooms. Those are doors to the bedrooms, you explain. Come on, let's have a closer look in the command chairs, you suggest, leading Pip over to the large screen at the front of the ship. You both sit down in the two command chairs facing the front. You watch as Spaceship exits the atmosphere of the ice cream planet, and then there's a sudden blink of light. You disappear and reappear, floating above the ice cream planet. Spaceship descends down towards the planet. He moves down through the clouds and swirls of some sort of pink and white mist. As you glide lower, you see mountains of Neapolitan ice cream. Ridges of chocolate, hills of vanilla, cliffs made of strawberry. Trees that seem to have waffle cones hanging from them blow in the breeze. The ship lands on a summit, one that looks like it's made entirely of vanilla ice cream. As the back hatch opens up, a gust of cold, sweet-smelling air rushes in. The two of you step out into the frosty wonderland. Pip takes one step forward and sinks up to his knees in the vanilla ice cream. I think we're probably gonna need skis or something, you suggest. On it, Spaceship replies, and soon 4 little robots carrying 4 skis fly out of a hatch and drop the skis beside you. I don't really know how to ski, Pip says. Oh, don't worry about that either. Spaceship, do you have the helmet ready? You ask. A panel in the ceiling opens up above you, and a sleek white helmet drops into your hands. Ready for memory transfer, Spaceship announces. Wait, what do you mean memory transfer? Pip asks. Oh, it'll just download all of the skiing skills you need, you explain. Think of it as ski school, but faster. Much, much faster. Pip hesitates and then nods slowly. Okay, but if I end up skiing backwards into a chocolate ravine, this is on you. You help him place the helmet on his head. Instantly, his eyes widen. Pizza, French fries, snowplow, double black diamond. Whoa, he mutters as flashes of ski knowledge flood through his mind. His legs twitch a little, as if remembering falls and recoveries, sharp turns and daring jumps. Then, just as fast as it started, the helmet lifts off his head. He blinks and then grins. I think I know how to ski now. You do know how to ski now, you say, handing him a pair of specially designed skis. You then place the helmet on yourself. You could use a refresher after all. In an instant, memories of every part of the ski progression pass through your mind. Learning to snowplow, learning, how to go straight, to turn, and then learning how to carve, learning how to go off gigantic jumps and perform crazy flips and maneuvers. When your eyes open again, you also feel like you're ready to do pretty much anything on these skis. Oh, and you'll probably want one of these watches too, you say to Pip. Spaceship, give me a watch. Another robot flies out of a little panel and floats over towards you, dropping a high-tech watch in your hand. You throw it to Pip, and it immediately latches onto his wrist. This'll provide you with, space armor, just in case we get hurt. I recommend putting on everything but the helmet now, you say. With that, you and Pip both activate the spacesuit armor on your watches. High-tech protective armor immediately begins to wrap over your arm, over your shoulders, down your legs, and of course over your other arm. You both step into the new skis, which clip into place on your boots, and you make your way onto the vanilla ice cream slopes. You use a sort of skating technique to move forward towards one of the trees. You're probably gonna want this, you say as you break off one of the waffle cones and throw it over towards Pip. Don't worry, we checked last time, it's all completely edible. Pip scoops into the ground with his waffle cone and picks up a large bit of vanilla ice cream. He immediately has a taste. "This is really good," he says. "Well, are you ready for the adventure?" you ask. All right," Pip responds. "Let's ski." And with that, the two of you head forward and lean down one of the hills. Soon, the ice cream mountain rushes beneath you, smooth like silk, slick but awfully soft. Chocolate swirls give way to raspberry ribbons. You both zigzag effortlessly down the slope, scooping up bits of frozen dessert using the waffle cones as you go. I'm actually skiing," Pip says as he carves perfectly back and forth, while at the same time eating an ice cream cone that is now full of almost every flavor. "And this is delicious." By the time you and Pip reach the bottom, your faces are pink from the cold, but you're grinning from ear to ear. "That was incredible," Pip says. "Can we do it again?" "Of course," you say casually, clicking your boots together. Spaceship installed rockets on these skis. "Wait, what?" Pip says. "Watch this." You point at your watch and press a glowing blue icon shaped like a flame. With a sudden jolt, your skis ignite with a soft blue glow. Jets of air energy push against the snowy surface, lifting you slightly above. "That's not skiing, that's ski flying or something like that," Pip says. "Exactly," you respond. "Want to try?" Pip looks down at his skis and then back up at you. Yes, obviously I do want to try." You help him tap the right control on his watch. His skis hum to life, glowing faintly. "Oh, all right," you say. "Now just lean forward a little. It's more like a ski lift and a roller coaster all in one." Then, led by the skis, the two of you blast up the mountain like rockets on rails, spraying streams of sugary ice cream everywhere you go. "This is the best thing ever," Pip says as you zoom up the mountain. You reach the summit again and skid to a stop near the same cone tree. You're about to pick up a new flavor when the ground beneath your skis begins to rumble. Pip freezes. "Was that your stomach?" he asks. You shake your head. No. The snow cracks, then shudders. Suddenly the top of the mountain erupts, sending waffle cone shards and chocolate chunks flying in every direction. A huge grayish-green blob lurches from the hole, its surface pulsing with gooey, semi-solid waves. Gobs of sticky, sugary pink gunk drip from its teeth, and bits of candy or something seem to be clinging to its shoulders. What is that?" Pip says, pointing. You step forward as calm as you possibly can be. "Oh, don't worry," you say. "I know how to handle these guys. Spaceship, activate mouthwash cannon. The armor on your left arm starts to sort of rebuild itself, forming into a large cannon. You squeeze your fist together, and almost immediately, a high-power stream of mouthwash starts to shoot out. You then look at your other arm and activate another cannon. "Toothpaste cannon," you say, and again, your right arm now sort of reforms itself into a toothpaste cannon. Immediately, you jump into the air, activating your thrusters and unleashing both the toothpaste and mouthwash cannon all at once. "These things have mouthwash and toothpaste cannons?" Pip asks in surprise. "Of course they do," you respond. "You can't fight a plaque monster with lasers after all, that would just be crazy." Little by little, the plaque monster starts to melt away until it's just a puddle beneath your toes. "That thing was made entirely out of plaque?" Pip says. "I guess brushing your teeth really is important." The two of you spend some time on the ice cream planet, scooping up all different flavors, hitting the slopes, until it seems like it might be time for something different. You've proven to Pip that the ice cream planet exists, but he didn't seem to believe you about the candy planet either. "Spaceship," you say, "I think it's time to take this session somewhere else." Spaceship flies up into the air, swoops down above you, and opens up the back hatch, floating just a little bit off of the ground and off of the ice cream. You and Pip pop off of your skis and climb aboard, throwing the skis over in the corner as you head back to the command chairs. The ship takes up off of the planet, out through the atmosphere, and then, once again, jumps with its quantum drive. There's a flash of light, and you soon find yourself floating above the candy planet. In front of you is a massive, shimmering planet, its surface a blend of swirls and sparkles. From orbit, you can already see rivers of chocolate and giant gumdrop hills, as well as what appears to be a forest of swaying lollipops of all different shapes, sizes, and colors. As the ship gets closer to the planet, Pip's eyes get wider. "Oh, my." "Scanning for safe landing area," Spaceship says. "Recommending touchdown in Jelly Bean Valley. Minimal plaque activity detected." You glance at Pip. Minimal plaque activity sounds like a good idea, huh? The ship sets down on a sticky but somehow not annoying pad of soft marshmallow grass. As the hatch opens up, the sweet scent hits you like, well, a tsunami of sugar-flavored air. You deactivate your spacesuit, and Pip does the same. You step out onto the valley. Around you, in all directions, are rolling hills of pink and yellow taffy, bubbling soda springs, and, of course, enormous candy canes that arch across the world like bridges. A few gumdrop boulders rest nearby, looking like they would squish you if you jumped on them. Pip runs his hand through his hair. This is what I imagine heaven would look like to a 6-year-old, he says. You grin. Grab a piece of something and let's look around. He bends over and plucks a crystallized sugar flower from the edge of the trail and takes a bite. It tastes like lemon and fizz. You wander further into the valley, passing licorice vines and bushes growing sour belt leaves. Pip samples everything cautiously at first, but soon he's running from one thing to the next, filling his pockets with gumballs and rock candy, like a kid at a magical candy buffet, which is pretty much exactly what this is. As you turn a corner, the landscape opens up into a wide chocolate plain with candy bar ruins sticking out of the ground, looking kind of like Stonehenge or something, only made of chocolate. Pip points ahead. "Is that a peanut butter chocolate pyramid?" he says. "Well, there's only one way to find out," you reply. You move forward until you're right in front of the chocolate ruin. Sure enough, it looks like it's made entirely out of peanut butter and chocolate cups. Pip steps forward. "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen," he says. As he gets closer, something catches his eye. Near the pyramid's base, half buried in sugar sand, there's something glowing. A hard candy crystal pulsing with a soft orange light. You can't help but wonder if you've seen something like this before. Pip crouches down beside it. "Should I touch it?" he asks. I don't know, it's probably fine," you say. Unfortunately not remembering what happened last time when Changer touched something that looked exactly like this. The moment Pip touches it, the ground beneath him begins to tremble. Oh no, now I remember. With a loud crack, the ground splits open, chocolate and caramel fly in all different directions, as another massive blob forces its way to the surface. "Plaque monster," you say. "Well, I guess I know how to take care of this," Pip says, pressing the button on his watch, causing his spacesuit armor to fold back out around his entire body. Pip takes to the air, transforms both of his arms into cannons, and fires a mix of mouthwash and toothpaste. Just as easily as you defeated the last plaque monster, this one begins to melt down into a gigantic puddle of plaque. The ground from behind you starts to rumble as well. "Oh man, not another one," you say, activating your spacesuit armor as well. You take off into the air, transform your left arm into a mouthwash cannon, your right one into a toothpaste cannon, and unleashing the two blasts of, well, mouth-washing goodness towards the creature. It too begins to melt slowly into a puddle of goo. With the two completely taken care of, you and Pip continue to sample parts of the candy planet. You take some of the peanut butter chocolate cups, you pick up some of your favorite chocolate bars, and you stuff your pockets full of every kind of candy you can find. Rock candy, something that looks like nerds, candy shaped like all different kinds of fruits. It's pretty amazing what this planet can create on its own. With your pockets stuffed and your stomach pretty full, you and Pip head back to the spaceship. As you climb aboard, the back hatch closes and the ship lifts up off of the ground. "I think we should probably go to bed now," you say to Pip as the two of you unload all of your candy onto the table in the living room area. "Yeah, you're probably right. I don't think it's a good idea to eat any more candy," Pip says as he moves slowly towards one of the bedrooms. You go towards the other one. You notice that it's a bit smaller than your bedroom normally is. Obviously, Spaceship kind of split up the space into 2 rooms. You climb into your bed, pull the covers up to your chin, and close your eyes. You start to focus on your breath, and with each one, you let go of the tension in your muscles just a little bit more. With each breath, you sink down deeper into the mattress, and your mind begins to wander off to thoughts of new dreams and new adventures to come. Good night, everyone.